Hello everyone, once again, welcome to another next session. This is a session where we talk about how to work with each IR partner that we're currently having in the ICX side. And presenting this session, this is me, your MCVP ICX, presenting you this session. And what to talk about in this session is the main considerations, the main profiles that we have, the approvals timeline, and the visa processes overall. So when we talk about main considerations for IGTA side, what to consider is that Europe is our focus currently in terms of visa processes because we don't want to complicate things and we try to avoid the countries that require long time to get a visa. So mainly Europe is our focus, and in America we target Brazil. The changes in the product didn't affect our market in sales, but affected the overall supply in Europe for OGX. And also the LCs need to focus even more on the LC to LC partnerships to have local supply, because most of the partnerships they are happening from MC level only, and Europe don't focus on approvals in the long term. So something to take into consideration is that most of the focus is for the short-term projects, because most of the people they just want short experience abroad and then they get back to finish their life in their countries. Marketing and OGX strategy in Europe are usually bad. It's not like a conclusion, but it's something that we are seeing overall. And you need to be micro tracker with the LCs in IR, otherwise they don't move. So one of the things to realize is that if you don't micro track the action steps that they are doing, if you don't follow up in a close way how they are managing their work and how they are proceeding with EPs and all of that. For example, that when an EP applies, you need to follow up on the EP on with the AR partner on the EP every single day. Like, did the EP, did you talk to the EP? Did you talk to them about the approval? Blah 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 blah. Blah. Did the OPS happen, etc. So you need to be very very detailed, and you need to be annoying at a certain point. You need to understand the category and understand category partnerships needs to be reviewed. So we have a lot of our partnerships at the moment that there are a lot of potential partnerships that we can launch. There are some partnerships that are in question. For example, our partnership with Spain at the moment is in question because Spain isn't at the best moment of their experience of their work at the moment. So it's something to think about. And also we need to understand more on how to capitalize national attraction with our partners. So in terms of IR, we are planning to have like some webinars, some hackathons, some things to boost the terms in times the approval side, and also we need to showcase their work, the work that we are doing with our EPs on our entity, so that our IR partners get more attracted to work with us. As for IGV, we don't have a lot of IR expansion because of lack of projects. So currently we run only 3 projects as a focus, and that's the reason we don't have a lot of IR partners in terms of GV. And you can see with IRs if they have relations with Spanish-speaking departments in university. And LCs need to focus even more on LC to LC to have more supply, and they have a lot of potential to have approvals with Europe. And Portugal is really demanded from IR side, so you can see that a lot of entities they want to come to Portugal because Portugal is considered as a cheap country in Europe, and also its location is very great. Like it has Spain that is very very close, and also we have the sea from 2 sides. We have a lot of natural places to visit, and they are very beautiful, and it's a great destination overall. That's why in GV specifically it's a very demanded destination. When talks about GTA partners, so talking about Ukraine, they grew a lot in results. They're putting Portugal as a focus, and they've developed more LC partnerships. And the negative side that LCs might focus on same LCs. So the LCs may like choose specific LCs in Portugal to work with, but they don't want to work with different ones. And on the positive side is that we have very aligned profiles. They're really good profiles. We have good relationship in the LCs, and we have flexible timeline. Also talking about Italy, so Italy is one of the biggest growing entities in terms of OGC, and it was nominated for GTA Collaboration Award. They started doing attraction by waves. They work with the one of the negative side is that they work with higher volume entities, and the LCs might focus on same LCs. The positive side is that they have one of the best synergies in MOGX side, and they have fast process time. For Brazil, which is one of the biggest supplier for our side since they speak Portuguese, they have EPs for the whole year. They have a lot of LCs working with the GTA, and they have supply for most of the work fields. And the negative side is that the LCs don't focus on customer experience a lot, and they tend to be not so responsive because LCs have struggles with that and have other entities in Europe as partners, especially Hungary. And the positive side is that they have a lot of supply. They match our timeline and they are very result oriented. And also another positive side is that they don't need visa for short-term durations. So, for example, for IGV or for IGTA short-term, they don't need a visa to come. They can spend. They have like 90 days to. They can stay like up to 90 days without a visa in Portugal. Also, talking about Germany LCs had a lot of opens up for Germany. However, supply and demand didn't allow to close those opens. Main fields they cover are marketing, PD, and BA. They have an off-peak timeline, and LCs are not good sellers. In the negative side, the LCs mostly don't focus on GTA. They don't have a lot of German speakers as their target audience. And EPs are sometimes spoiled, creating realization problems, and OGX expectation setting is not the best. For the positive side, they have a big focus on Europe, a lot of organic signups, and companies look a lot for Germany. The quality of German EPs is the best. When you talk about Turkey, so naturally have a lot of organic signups. They are fast process time. They have campaigns. They do a lot of campaigns over the year, IXP, discounts, Black Fridays, all of that. They do a lot of that, and they have EPs in most work fields. And for the negative side, English level is not always the best, and they have the visa process that takes time to arrange. And for the positive side, they are ambitious LCs and MC, and the timeline is very aligned, and you can approve with Turkey at any time of the year. The Netherlands, general, so the EB timeline is in the middle of the year, so the EBs start their work with the MC at the same time, so at the beginning of August, and they increase their contribution in Europe, and their main work field is BD, BA, and marketing. And for the negative side, EPs are mostly problematic, and the realizations and expectation setting should be double, and they are really unpredictable performance. Like in one semester they can do big peak of performance, and then the next semester they don't do any improvements. For the positive side, they have very good profiles. They're interested in coming to Portugal, and they sell their post peaks, so they work for even for winter peak or in either summer peak. And also talking about Greece, so usually works with economic background because of their focus for schools, and they can have LCVPs OGX. And for the negative side, the companies are not looking for Greeks, which is something kind of negative for our side. And also the positive is that they are aligned on peaks and they have very good communication. For Peru, we started working in the second semester and the previous semester, and each day historically worked a lot. And more supply for the negative side, they have more supply for long term than the short term. And the positive side is that they always had good realizations. For Spain, they had more results in the past term, so in the previous MC term they had much better results. And the negative side is not always interested in Portugal. The LCs are not the best sellers, and they focus mainly on long term. The positive side that they have good profiles. True, the companies are really interested in Spanish EPs because they work a lot with the Spanish market. For the GV partners, our main partner for us is Brazil, which is an entity know-how in GV is high, which is a great entity working in GV. We can easily depend on them, and they have EPs for the whole year. They have a lot of LCs working with GV, and for the negative side, they have bad expectation setting. We had a lot of break approvals with them, and we are mostly dependent on them in GV. And they don't have a routine with MCVP or GV like Legoroco. So most in general, we don't have like specific routine with them because they work a lot. They have a lot of IR partners, and they have a lot of work to do. So I don't know how to say it, but our routines and our organization of things is not the best. In terms of positive things, their market has a lot of interest in Portugal. They have a lot of supply. They match our timeline, and they are very results oriented. And we have a big history in partnerships. In Turkey, for GV, we started working in the past semester, and historically worked a lot. One of the negative thing is the visa processes, same as GT. And for the positive side is that market has a lot of interest in Portugal, and they have a lot of supply, and they match our timeline. For Spain, we made better results for them in the previous term, and they're not easy on attraction. They don't have a lot of supply, and they exist dependence because of Equify projects. And the positive side is that the institutions are really interested in Spanish EPs, and we added a new partner, which is Italy, in this semester. And Italy in GV, they are achieving good results, and we are waiting to see their contribution with us. The main profile. So when we talk about matching the profile, that is the most important thing for us, is that you need to know how to analyze which request does the partner have, and inform your IRs about the opportunities and the EP requirement, and you need to look into your supply for the ideal candidate for the slot. When talking about the approvals timeline, so for the GV, it's mainly 3 days. So the EP apply, it takes the EP, we give like the EP 48 hours maximum to be accepted by home, and a maximum it's another 48 hours to be approved. So the average is 3 days, the maximum is 4 days. For a GTA short term, it's 5 days overall. So the EP, it's the same process basically, but it takes longer because it's we need, sometimes we take like the opinion of the company in making the approval. And for long term, it takes over like it takes more than a week to make the approval, because for us we have to wait the company to make the accepted and see the profiles and all of that. For the visa process, as you know, in IPIP, so ISAC hosting entity needs to provide an invitation letter and supporting documents in case the EP needed those documents. But the basic thing is that we provide the invitation letter for all EPs that has all details about the EP, about the project, about the accommodation, all of that. So when we talk about visa processes, so for Brazil and Turkey, for Brazil, they don't need a visa for a duration that is less than 3 months to stay in Portugal. As for Turkey, they need a visa either way, and it takes around a month, at least a month, to come to get the visa. For other entities, so for example, North Africa or Asia, which is entities that we used to work with, it takes more than 3 months to get the visa. And yes, that would be it. I hope this was fruitful for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to approach me. And thank you.